in this video, we're gonna share with you 27 different facts about Sri Lanka.
Which probably you didn't know.
Hello guys, my name is JJ and this is my wife Julia. We are a travel couple trying to generate online income so we can travel full-time. But unfortunately at the moment we have a really small budget, and with this budget we're gonna travel all around Sri Lanka and share our adventures with you guys. This information, all of it, is actually we gather ourselves, not from internet, just by living around and seeing
Yeah,
the
it's like our experience and what we find interesting. So if you don't find it interesting, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's the first one? It's the exchange rate. So what I realized is when I come here, when we've been here for 3 months by the way, when we were here and we want to exchange money, the exchange rate for euro was 220 for €1. But when you go to the places that is not official, they were given 260 rupees for €1. So there was a massive difference. So this is something that for you to be aware of as well. Not only like it's a black market, but it's not like necessarily a black market. I didn't know about it. I went to...
They even show like official, they like in Colombo for example, it's kind of black market, but they do like exchange rate tools and there are signs and everything. It's just when you exchange in money, the guys tell you like, please don't tell anyone. If somebody asks like how much you change, say 220 or something like that. I don't remember what he said,
And I think we are lucky because the only reason why I found out about that is in Negombo I went to exchange money first time when we were in Sri Lanka, and I knew the exchange rate was around 220, 230. I went to exchange it and I said like, what's the exchange rate? The guy said 260, something like this. And I'm like, yes, okay, I exchange it. I went to when we moved to Colombo, we went to another exchange office and they were saying 230. I said 230, I did it in Negombo 260. I go to another exchange office. It's like, oh, okay, I give you 260.
And also the exchange rate depends on like which notes you have, like if it's 100 notes, is it 50 notes, obviously the rate will be better, and if it's like 20s, 10s, it's not really good.
And also the paper that you bring has to be crisp. If there's a little cut or anything like that,
they didn't take out
any damage, any damage, they might refuse to take it. But what we did, like as she said, one place didn't accept one of the €100 bill because it was a little cut. I took it to another exchange office. They didn't realize the damage and they were okay. But if it's like made really big damage, they will not get it. Yeah. Also, if you withdraw money from ATM, you don't have an option of Visa. This is for cash exchange.
Yeah, it's gonna be this official bank rate, which is really bad.
And if you use your card to withdraw money, ridiculous charges. The next fact actually is that there is crocodiles in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I didn't know that before we come here.
Yeah, I saw a video, but I thought like it's only one small section of Sri Lanka. I didn't know how much widespread there are. Like even when we were here for the last 3 months, there was even news at one point that we see a crocodile has been spotted in the sea.
And they're like proper touristic beach, which is like next to our house, and it was a bit scary.
Yeah, but you don't see it every day. It's not actually, we still didn't see it at all. There are specific locations that you have more chance to see crocodiles as you're going around. Like
we heard Bentota, so we're planning to go there to record them.
Yeah, we are mainly around south, around Veligama area, and there is not crocodiles around here, but apparently there is. It's just much more rare that you don't see, kind of. But,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Yeah. But I didn't know how widespread the crocodiles are in Sri Lanka.
The next one is electricity problem, which is like for me, like a person from a big city, I never face it in my life, but JJ did.
I grew up with it, so for me, it's okay. Like from Cyprus when I was growing up, every time there was a storm, we were losing the electricity, and it was kind of part of our life.
Here it's not about storm. I think it's about saving money. That's what I heard. I don't know, because it keeps constantly coming, like in 2 weeks.
And for a specific time.
Yeah, in 2 weeks it's come like every day, and then it stopped for a month, and then it comes again. And one time actually we was riding a train. It was already dark, and we was driving like every other like little village was having no light. So I guess it's normal thing here.
Yeah, so, and the one interesting thing is like, if you come in for a holiday, just to keep in mind, unless you're in the really high standard hotel, the electricity will affect you. You will lose the electricity as well because not everywhere has generators. In Veligama area, I think
Only Marriott Hotel.
Marriott's
have
Hotel
it,
and
yeah.
maybe few other odd ones that has generator, but once the electricity goes, it goes.
Even in a restaurant, one time we was eating in the restaurant and the electricity cut off and they just bring the candles to each table and we continue our dinner.
So there is like 3-4 places that you potentially can go eat with generators, but the rest of the time will be dark.
Yeah, but usually it's like 1-2 hours, not really long
Yes.
time, but they put it like around 7 o'clock, so usually people eat in this time.
So yeah, generally when it's cut, it's 1 hour and comes back, but sometimes it can be longer.
Yeah, when you stay here, just like buy some candles and you will be fine.
The next interesting fact is about official attractions. So you know, like when you travel into a country, sometimes, actually most of the time, you can find these attractions where the locals pay much cheaper than the tourists. Generally this is like if the local pays $1, you pay $2, $3 as a tourist, and this kind of things generally happens for natural things like waterfalls or historical sites, this kind of places, because the idea, I believe, is like you live in that country and you have a right to see the historical sites, the waterfalls and the lakes and all this for a cheaper. I think that's the idea. It's same in my country as well, in Cyprus. As a local, I either don't pay or I pay really small and compared to the tourist. But generally, as I said, this is like 1 times more expensive or 2 times more expensive. Here in Sri Lanka, how much
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like sometimes it's like 70 times more expensive.
Yeah, like 20-30 times more expensive. It's like
200 rupees for locals, and we should pay like
I want to see your mouth.
4,000 or something like that.
That's what's the percentage of that?
I don't know.
No, like simply if you pay like $1, if the locals pay like $1 for an event or for an entrance to something, you can pay like $20-30 for the same thing. And it's not only about natural things like waterfalls and stuff. Like if you go to zoo, if you go to some kind of like aquarium, gardens, this kind of stuff in Colombo
like
as well.
Businesses, which is I believe not fair, because if you come to any other country, like okay, natural things will be different, but if it is zoo or like something like that, it's same price for everyone.
Yeah, and
So
even hospitals, even in hospitals, which I had a problem. I contacted the private hospital to ask for like to check up, just to go to see an eye doctor. Whatever they call the doctor, and because I speak English, they give me a price. And I said, like, this is the normal price. I am like, she's like, well, where are you from? I said, I'm from Cyprus. So what does it matter? Like, is it different
hospital,
for a local and for a thing, for a foreigner? And they say, yeah, it's different. I say, you're a private hospital, you know, they're a public hospital. If I go public hospital, I understand I don't have insurance, I have pay, where the locals can get it for free. Like, no, but this is the system. You're a foreigner, so there is a different price for you. So this kind of things, it's happening, unfortunately, in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Graffiti, yes. There is a big law, I think, in Sri Lanka about graffiti.
Yeah, and they make it so beautiful and it's everywhere. We really like it, actually.
I think like in Europe or like in traditional mindset, graffiti can be seen as a dirt, can be seen as like the youngers go sneakily without getting caught putting it.
Usually it's not allowed.
Yeah, here is not like this. Here we can find beautiful graffiti all around, especially like train stations or under walking path. There's
under the bridges.
Yeah, there's lots of places that there's graffiti and they look really nice as well.
So the next interesting facts are the locals. They're like one of the most friendliest nation we saw while we're traveling.
Yes, like this, if you come in here as a tourist, they make you feel like you're famous. Like not only famous, like you're really important. They're always smiling, they're always trying to help you out, start a conversation. If you're having any problem, they will be there to help you out. So as Julia said, like I think from all the countries that I visit, probably Sri Lanka is either number 1 or number 2 after Lebanon, but like they're both really friendly when it comes to showing off their country, to helping the tourists. So it's definitely something that you will really be enjoying when you come
and
to Sri
I love
Lanka.
the kids as well. Every time we drive in the scooter, the kids, every time they saw us, they just start waving, smiling. It's just really nice. usually just wave them back and you feel really good.
And the good thing is like 99% of the locals here, which is another fact, can speak really good English. So it's not
Even
like
kids, yeah.
even kids, even like the things that you don't expect, like the people who works for low wages or something, like uneducated, even them can speak English. It's really rare that you're gonna find people that don't speak English.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which helps
It
a
helps,
lot,
yeah.
because when they're friendly, if they don't speak, if you don't have a common language, you cannot communicate. But because they're friendly and you have a common language, you can chat about stuff, you can learn information, you can build relationships. So I think these two facts, I wanted to share them together because I think it makes sense. Well, when you come here, be in that mindset to meet with some locals, learn about their culture, learn about the struggles they're
They will
going
be willing
through.
to help and chat. They're so nice and so chatty.
Yeah, and they're really, really nice people in a general way. Let's talk about a little bit for people like us. Like if you're coming here for a holiday, probably will use your hotel's internet, and maybe you will bring your SIM card and you will use your own data. But if you're coming here for 3 months, like what they call it, nomads, expats, nomads, you might want to stay here for long term, so you might want to get internet packages, like on your phone or on your home, whatever. Go on, Julia, tell them something for me.
Yeah, the packages are really weird. Like for example, the package we have for our phone is called like we have unlimited Facebook,
And YouTube and WhatsApp.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube and WhatsApp, but not
That's
Instagram.
395 rupees, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, not Instagram, which is the same company as Facebook and WhatsApp, which is weird. If you want Instagram, you need to pay extra money for that.
Yes.
So it's like if you want unlimited Instagram, you pay extra or something like that. And we have also the same, this is dialogue by the way, and we have the same dialogue at home as well for our Wi-Fi. And it's weird as well, like for example in our home, the Facebook and Instagram and Netflix are not working in our laptops. So like if I'm in the phone and I want to use Facebook, I need to turn off the Wi-Fi
at home and connect to the phone data.
Yeah, that's so weird. And like specifically Netflix, like we're paying to Netflix already. Why we should pay like extra to dialogue to use Netflix? Like we ask them and they say like, yeah, if you want to, you need to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Like
So
why?
it's I think it's kind of the type of the packages that we got. It's just I never seen this type of packaging.
Yeah,
So,
usually it's like unlimited or like speed or something, but everything will be included.
yeah, you either have a data plan or you have unlimited plan. That's what we are used to. Here there is unlimited plans, but the speed is ridiculously long.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's why we don't
If you
go
want,
for it.
like even the most expensive unlimited plan is like 5 times slower than the plan that we have. The plan that we have is 80 gigabytes of data that you can use, but as Julia said, there is a limitation where you can use it. You cannot use it on Netflix, you cannot use it on Facebook, you cannot use it on Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
So there are these limitations that makes it weird, and for this we pay around 990, 890. 890 or 990 rupees for 80 gigabytes. When it's finished, we repeat the package.
In some places in Sri Lanka there is a fiber internet. Unfortunately not in the place where I stay.
Yeah,
but
which is very
if you're working online, you better to find place which have fiber internet, because now they have more and more places which allows it, and I'm sure it's much better.
It might be much better, but we're not struggling like with the internet. Okay, this Facebook not being able to go to...
No, I am struggling, baby. Sometimes I need Facebook for work and I cannot use it from my laptop, you know. That's really annoying because I have to use my phone data, and it's like why should I do that, you know? I'm paying for internet and why don't I have Facebook?
Well, you can have a different package, pay more money, and you can have the Facebook as well.
It's like
it's just budgeting thing.
Yeah, it's
so obviously, like it's not like every package will limit your Netflix and Facebook usage. It's the one that we use, which gives us good speed, good data for decent money. That's the one that is limiting.
Yeah.
So the next fact that I'm gonna tell you, it can be a bit annoying and a bit depressing for girls especially, because what is it is when you're going around, what happens is because of their culture, it's not like anything disrespectful, I think. Like they're not meaning as a disrespectful, I believe. It's kind of when we speak with the locals, they're saying it's more of a showing of respect. So when we walk in a shop, for example, even if Julia is the first customer walking in and I'm behind, the owner of the shop tends to say, "Welcome, sir." and starts speaking to me and not looking Julia, not speaking to her, not mentioning her. This
Which is stupid, because in shop, girls who is like the boss, she's making decisions in the shop, like most of the times. If it's not like sport shop or like men clothing shop, usually it's girls who decide like what to buy and what not to buy. So speak to girl, like.
Yeah. So this obviously at the beginning was a bit weird for us because we didn't expect such a thing, and Julia get a bit offended at the beginning. But speaking with some locals, we understand that this kind of how their tradition is, how their culture is. So it's kind of showing a respect, like by speaking to a man in their sense. The next fact is actually similar idea, that since we've been here for 3 months, probably 99.9% of the drivers that we see are male. It's really small amount of number of drivers are girls. The majority are men.
Yeah, like usually in both of our countries it's like equal, it's around 50%. Even sometimes I think even more girls, like in Russia for example. But here no, here is different.
Yeah, just an interesting fact.
Yeah. Before we continue, we wanted to say thank you to Buckler Charles for supporting us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
And the next fact in our list is actually really impressive about locals. They are the most helpful people that I see, and not for the tourists, for the, like, you know, for the beggars, like people who's in down period of their life. They are the most helpful people that I see.
Which actually a lot of people like that here, they just sitting sometimes, especially in big cities like Colombo. In South we didn't see much. Like Colombo, they sit really like every 100 meters in the street.
Yeah.
Or sometimes like when we're in the buses, they come to the bus to like sing a song or like do something.
Yeah, try to ask for a donation in a sense, but not an official organization, for an individual.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like begging for money.
And a big percentage of Sri Lankan people, they usually give them money, and that's really impressive for me.
Yeah, like majority of around the world, I see like when generally this kind of things happen, the percentage I assume is like 1%, let's say, of the people who's helping. In Sri Lanka, I believe it's like 50-60% of the people.
Yeah, that's a lot. Even like if the guy comes to the bus, it's nearly like I think even 80-70% of people are giving some money.
Which is really nice, and considering the economical crisis this country is going,
they don't have much and they're still sharing.
And that's really impressive to me, and that's why I wanted to share this fact.
So the next interesting fact which we saw is that in Sri Lanka, at least in the Buddhism, we don't know about other religions, when a person dies, everybody wears white, which like usually in Europe and in Russia, people wear black. Like,
yeah, to represent the sadness.
White for us is more like weddings or something like that.
Here is white, and they also like put flags outside the house to show where the death happened. So as you come into Sri Lanka, if you driving past and you see a big flag outside the house, probably there has been a death around there.
Yeah,
so if you are in the car and there is a high volume, just put it down, just show respect, don't make too much noise as you're passing by, I believe. But it's interesting to see that they're wearing white.
Yeah, it's such a different way of living, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's interesting fact.
The next interesting fact is that every full moon is a public holiday here. Like before, when I was living in Russia, I didn't even know which moon is today, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't really, like, sometimes you might see it, but most of the time you don't realize what cycle of the moon we are in. But in Sri Lanka, every full moon is a bank holiday, and especially if you are in Colombo, you will see tuk-tuks will be like, oh, there is this event, it's full moon, come on, I'll take you to this temple and everything.
Yeah, lots of businesses are closed, but not in touristic areas, don't worry, like it will be still open, everything.
Yeah, but just to know, if you come in here on full moon and you see everywhere is closed, don't think businesses are closed because of the economical situation.
The next interesting fact is that many people here wear traditional clothes, which to be honest I didn't see anywhere in the world. I don't think it exists anywhere else in the world. Like the sari for the woman, for example, like a big percentage of women are wearing this on a a daily basis, not like just for holidays. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
like you wear traditional clothes for like
The majority of the countries, I think,
Yeah.
the traditional clothes are generally for the special events.
yeah,
In
but
Sri Lanka,
not
it's for the
here.
day-to-day.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. I think it's really nice. It looks cool, and I think the moment you arrived to Colombo Airport, we actually saw that it was all the staff in the airport was wearing nice sari. It was really cool.
And it looks nice. This sari looks elegant, like they put one piece over the shoulder.
Yeah, I like it
And it
as
looks
well. It looks
elegant, so I
beautiful.
like it. And also the men also has their traditional thing, kind of like skirt, where they put around their waist.
I think it's called sarong.
I don't know what they call,
I know.
but the men tend to wear that. But the interesting fact is that how often they wear it compared to the other countries where the traditional clothing are more for special events.
I think nearly every day.
Yeah, here is more
nearly
for
every day.
day-to-day thing. So the next fact is probably you are aware of is that there is so many dogs in Sri Lanka. Wherever you go, there will be a dog. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, before we come here, actually, I heard about it as well, and I was worried because, like, I'm a little bit scared of dogs because, like, in Russia, there is such a problem. There's lots of packs of dogs, and nearly every year they kill a child or something like this. There is stories like this, and growing up, I was like obviously a bit worried when I see a group of dogs. I was always like conscious, you know.
Yeah, but once you are here, you realize they're really calm dogs. So throughout the day, especially at night, they can be a bit more
I think
aggressive.
it's also it's really hot, and they just don't have energy for nothing. They just usually sleep somewhere all day long.
Yeah, but so if you come into Sri Lanka, do not bring your dog, because one of the main way to annoy the local dogs is to have another dog with you. They all have their own territory. They're really calm towards humans.
But if the other dog comes, they all like come together, bark at her.
Yeah, so if you have a dog here, you cannot take it for a walk. Even for Julia, like she was walking lately for her back, but she's worried how many dogs are around, and she goes to gym to do that. So this is something to know. But the dogs,
If you're a
as I said,
runner, for example, if you like running, that might be a problem as well because dogs doesn't like people running, obviously.
but what we see so far is dogs are really calm and friendly. Only in the evening, sometimes, few times they bark at
night,
us,
yeah, at
but
night.
they still not that aggressive. It's just like barking as a warning.
The next interesting fact, I want to discuss the rubbish situation in Sri Lanka. You can hardly find any
Bin.
bins around here. Like it's actually for us it was really annoying because we're not people who just like throwing stuff away.
We always look for bins to throw our rubbish, but there is no public bin. We've been here like more than 3 months, and I think I only saw once a public dustbin where you can throw your rubbish.
Yeah, not even like usually every shop and every place have like outside the bin, but not here. Like most of the places doesn't have. Maybe inside, yeah, but not outside.
Yeah, and like sometimes we have to even carry our rubbish for like hours
And bring
until
it
we
home
find a
sometimes or
yeah until we
something, yeah.
find a. You see, they put in the body.
They don't. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, move so they can see. Like what we understand, we don't know exactly how the system works, but you cannot take your rubbish just outside as a, like if you're living in a house and you have a rubbish, like obviously as you start eating food, the rubbish you put it in the bin, and then you normally take this dustbin out, and the
Usually
car.
like in, we have some big containers where all the houses put the rubbish and then the car comes and take this container out.
Yeah,
That's usually how it works.
We still didn't see this container system here. We don't know how it works. We see people burning rubbish constantly, so I think it's more for like saving money. Like I've heard to get rid of plastic and this kind of stuff, you have to pay high fees to the government. So I think
that's why
they
people
might be
cannot afford
burning.
it, yeah.
They might be burning for it. We're not really sure about this information. We just see there is so many burns, and we still didn't see.
We don't know what's going on
cars
with
going around
rubbish.
to clean
Like
rubbish.
when we have rubbish, we just give it to our landlords, but we don't know what's
because
happening after. But we never saw a
In
car.
front of the house, there is no rubbish dustbin.
Yeah,
like
we never saw a
individual.
like rubbish car coming and collecting it. So we don't know
how it
what's
works.
happening.
So
yet.
if you are watching Sri Lankan, please let us know, because it's interesting where this rubbish is going and how the system is working.
Yeah, we still didn't figure out.
Yeah. The next fact is, when you come to Sri Lanka, if you want to drive a scooter or a car, officially you need a temporary driving license.
Yeah, but you can get in Colombo. We have a video about it.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, I'll put the video somewhere here. But it's not necessary. What we realize is, like when police stop us in Veligama, I just wanted to test. I have this temporary driving license, and I give him my normal driving license instead of the Sri Lankan official one. They didn't say anything. I had the official letter, so if they wouldn't say anything, I would have showed them the official one. But I just wanted to test it for you guys. If you come in here,
I think
in
it
a
depends on
touristic
the
area,
person. Yeah, like somebody will want this license. It calls Sri Lankan permit, I think, something like this.
Yeah.
Somebody will want international license.
so in a touristic area, I think it should be okay. But if you go to rural areas, it might be a different scenario. We don't know about the rural areas. The police didn't stop us
Obviously,
around
if
there
you
yet.
have time and you have opportunity, it's better to go to Colombo and get it, because it's like half an hour and like 1,000 or 2,000 rupees, like
Yeah,
not much.
and it will be much more safer. I
Yeah. The next topic is JJ will say, because he is the driver.
Yeah, so as we're talking about the driving license, obviously the next topic I want to share is the traffic. Traffic here is chaotic, especially in big cities like Colombo. It's really, really chaotic. It's like, imagine suddenly you find out there is a war and everybody is trying to escape from a war. That's kind of how I feel every time I drive. There can be a two-line road, but there will be 5 different vehicles on the two-line road. Everybody is taking over each other. If they're not happy with your speed that you're going, they're not gonna wait for the opposite line to be empty. They're just gonna press home for you to push left, and they will take right, and then the car coming will see that, they will go right, so it becomes like 3 lane, and it can be sometimes 4 or 5 lane of cars in a 2-lane road, which is dangerous, but you get used to it. It's like when you drive in here, I think you have to be really conscious. You have to expect unexpected. And
Yeah, the car can just stop in front of you, and because he saw a friend and he wants to chat to him.
especially tuk-tuks does that.
Yeah.
Especially like they can give
They just stop.
Yeah, they can give an indicator to turn right, but suddenly they just press brake and stop on the left. So you have to be really conscious and keep your distance when you're driving, because anything can happen.
Yeah, if you're not really experienced, better don't like rent a scooter, because to be honest, we see many accidents around with tourists.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
And also the other thing is, like, if you are scooter, I feel like the big trucks, especially like the bus, acts like you're not there.
Yeah,
so,
the buses here are crazy, especially in the south.
So imagine, like, it happened to me like 2-3 times. I'm driving, there's no car in front of me, I'm the only scooter on the road, and the coming traffic there is 5 cars. The big bus sees these 5 cars. Instead of wait for me to drive past, it just takes my lane and start driving past these cars, and to me gives me like a 1.5 meter gap
Yeah,
for
and
my
what if
scooter to
there is
squeeze in.
pedestrian there, or dog, or something,
Or
you
parked
know?
car. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't care. You are a scooter compared
really
to a bus. He
dangerous,
knows
yeah.
that the worst case scenario, you're just gonna pull aside and stop for him to pass. So that's something that I don't really like, and every time they do it, I'm pressing horn all the time, but they don't care. They're a bus or a big car, they just
Yeah,
want
they
you to get out of the way.
Yeah. The next interesting fact, it's more like for people who live here, not for the tourists, because if you cook at home, you will face it. Actually, you can eat in restaurants as well, because like here in Sri Lanka, people mostly eat chicken. Actually, no, mostly they eat vegetarian, and a little bit more they eat chicken and fish. And like we are meat lovers, and like
Yeah,
we
I
love
like lamb and beef and
yeah,
this kind of
pork,
items.
everything. Like it's so hard to find here meat. In some shops they just sell only chicken and fish, and
Majority
in
of the shops.
Yeah, in the end, if you find a shop who sells meat, usually it's not the best quality meat. Like one time we cooked burgers, and they
And the
were
meat
tasting
tastes-
so
yeah.
bland. I don't know. Even like when you fry a meat, usually there is like this nice smell, and here I was frying it and it was nothing. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's the reason. Maybe because like
They're not using it much, I
they
guess.
don't
There
eat
is not.
much meat, so they don't produce much.
We don't know exactly the reason, but what we see from the shops, if you want chicken, you are good. If you want seafood, you are good. But anything else, it will be pretty hard to find, especially quality one.
Yeah, we're eating chicken mostly and
Yeah.
a little bit fish. But yeah, when we will come back to Cyprus, we'll
That will
start
be
eating lots of
definitely
meat
a
again,
lamb
yeah.
barbecue.
For sure.
The next fact is actually for the smokers. So if you come in here, keep in mind if you're a tobacco smoker, tobaccos are really, really rare and really, really hard to find.
I think they even
in Sri
illegal.
Lanka.
Somebody told us this rolling tobacco is like.
Yeah. So instead
legal
of cigarette, if you're smoking tobacco in your country, when you come here, you might want to bring it with you, but keep in mind it might be risky because, as she said, I think there might be some legal issues with tobacco, and that's why it's hard to
if
find.
you find it, if you bring it from abroad, that's okay. But if you kind of buy it here, that's like buying drugs. It's not good. Like.
But that's not a legal
not
advice.
safe,
If you bring it and they stop you in the customs, we're not taking any responsibility because we don't know. But
Yeah,
we
it's
just know
we
that
asked
tobacco is
somebody,
really.
That's what they told us. I don't know.
We just know that tobacco is really, really hard to find here. And also the cigarettes. Cigarettes are expensive, not in an expensive in a sense like more expensive than Europe or Australia and this kind of countries, but it's in a sense it's
Comparing
similar.
to everything else, like
Yeah.
what you can buy here.
It's like, I think one pack of cigarettes, I'm not sure about it, is like 2,000-3,000 rupees, which is ridiculous, which is like 10-15 times more expensive than our lunch. So the locals here, actually, you will see, cannot afford one pack of cigarettes. What they do is they go to shop and they buy like 1-2 cigarettes for a day, or like 3 cigarettes, depends how much they smoke.
And also I see they smoke some kind of, they chew some kind of leaves.
They chew this kind of leaf and something inside as well. But if you come in here and you're a smoker, be prepared, the prices for food and everything will go down, but the cigarette prices
will stay same probably.
Stay same unless you are from like UK or something, then you will find it cheaper here as well.
The next interesting fact, we've been really shocked to when the first time it happened.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, there is this Coca-Cola, Fanta and stuff in a glass bottles. And
It's like classic thing, you know, in the advertisement they use this glass Coca-Cola bottle.
Apparently here the glass, like the owners of the shops and restaurants, they give them back to the factory and I guess get some money. That's why if you buy a Coke in a glass bottle, they will not just let you go. They will tell you, okay, finish drink here and then you can go.
Yeah, like I think it's same everywhere around the world. Like if you did have this glass bottle of Coca-Cola, the shop can return it back when the guys bring a new Coke and they get like some return from it, like few cents, whatever.
Yeah, but
the difference
nobody will tell you, just you're not allowed to leave because you paid for it, kind of, like, not kind of, like you did. You paid for bottle as well, you not just paid for the drink.
So here it's been a few times that they tell us, no, you cannot leave.
First time I bought it in the shop, even not in the restaurant.
Yeah, it was a shop.
Like, we just take the bottle and we start leaving. And the guy was like, hey, stop. I was like, what? We didn't pay or what? He was like, no, not allowed. He was like, what not allowed? Like, you drink here and
then leave the bottle. Yeah.
So it was like,
so it was interesting. We're like, so you're not a restaurant, you're not a cafeteria, you're a shop. We just buy something.
Yeah, that was really
You need
funny.
to finish it and you need to leave the bottle.
Well, that's something for you to know.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's not like it's gonna affect your life, but it's just
now
funny.
we know. So if we want to go, we just get a plastic bottle.
Yeah. And as we're speaking about drinks, in the next fact we can talk about coconuts. The coconuts here are really nice, but more than nice, the amount of liquid inside is shocking to me. Like, we've been to a few different Asian countries and we try a few different coconuts. The coconut in Sri Lanka, we take one and it gets both of us full.
Yeah.
Like, I think I even make in one video I show like I cut one coconut from our garden and it fills up like the 2 glasses like this, and it's like lots of water.
That's amazing. Yeah, even the small coconuts sometimes still make us both like full, you know.
So this is a fact that you will definitely enjoy if you come into Sri Lanka.
The next interesting fact for the people who are cooking is that you will not be able to find the yellow onion here, only the red one, which was really shocking for me. But now after 3 months cooking like that, I already get used to it. I don't
taste any difference as well. It's just shocking. Normally red onion is like something specific, generally used in salads, especially in Cyprus. It's like this for me at least.
Yeah, and usually for cooking you use yellow onion.
Yeah, but here there is not. You call it yellow onion. For me it's like white onion, like where it's white inside. And okay, but here it's only red onion. Just an interesting fact for you to know. The other interesting fact about Sri Lanka is cricket here is the #1 sport. So as you're driving around, if you go to Europe, probably you will see kids playing football or something. Here you will see kids playing and cricket.
Yeah.
And we didn't experience it yet. We were looking forward to it, to give it a try. I don't know the exact rules, but it looks fun and the kids seems to have a great time. And there's lots of cricket sports that you can go and watch as well.
The next interesting fact is actually that the home of cinnamon is Sri Lanka, which I didn't know before. And apparently up to 90% of the whole world export of cinnamon is coming from Sri Lanka. It's amazing. Like when I learned that, it was like shocking.
Yeah, Julia likes cinnamon.
I like cinnamon, yeah.
If it's you can find teas with cinnamon. You can find foods where they use
Cakes,
cinnamon
I
in.
like cookies and everything. Yeah.
So if you like cinnamon, you will enjoy Sri Lanka. And the last fact of this video is the name of hotel. The word hotel, it generally represents where you can go to sleep. In Sri Lanka, not necessarily. It can represent where you go to eat. So hotel actually can mean restaurant. Keep that in mind while you're here.
Yeah, if you see a place which says hotel,
it doesn't mean
go there to eat.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's a hotel. It can mean a restaurant. So just check.
Sometimes it can be both, but sometimes it can be
so check, just look inside. If there is a food, then it's a hotel, means restaurant.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it and you find this video informative.
And write down in the comments what you find interesting about Sri Lanka as well.
Yes, and hope to see you in the next video.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.